that tells you that's pronounced as V. And the Gimel without the Dagesh has a bar above the G. And the Dalet without the Dagesh, the TH, is a D with a line under it. Then we're fine with H and V. I'm making it V. I'm going with the V. It does show W sometimes. I understand that. Z, and then Het. I left the sound, but it's transliterated as H with a dot under it. And Tet is a T with a dot under it. So this is Tet. Kind of a funny looking letter, isn't it? Up, then curve it, straight across, up, and then back. That's Tet. The more you write it, the easier it'll be. The next one is Yod. From Yod, all of the other letters come into existence. Yod was the first. That's the main letter that all of the entire alphabet comes from. And Yod, of course, can you see that? Let me see how far over that's going. Yeah, you can see it all. Yod is just a Yod, and that's Y. Yod is Y as in yet. That'll be easy to write 101 times. Just write 101 commas. Not 49, not 63. Don't cheat yourself and do it 100. I wanted 101. Okay? And I will do every assignment with you that I assign you. I'm not above you in this. I will learn this with you. I will do every assignment I give. Guaranteed. The next one is interesting also. After Yod comes Kaf. Now, Kaf is not just a C, a backward C. No. Kaf has a little bit of a mark up here. It's not a hard diagonal like that, but it is a little bit of a tail. Kaf. And that is K. And you want to practice these. I've been practicing them on paper, but on this dry erase board it's a little bit different. This is Kaf with the Dagesh. And that gives you the K. My neighbor's dog needs to shut up so I can talk to you, right? Now, there are some letters, 5 to be exact in Hebrew, that have a final form. What that means is if any of these 5 letters get put at the end of a word, it's different than their medial form. Whether they're in the beginning of a word or the middle of a word, they have a certain form called a medial form. If they're on the end of the word, it's a different form, but it's very simple to learn this. Very simple. Kaf is the first one that has a final letter. The key to the final letters is you keep the top part of the letter. The original letter goes like this and then across, right? In a circle. You keep this part of the letter, and then it goes straight down. And technically in square script, all you have to do is draw it across and then straight down. But the tail is longer, because you'll notice how similar this looks to Dalet. The only difference between Dalet and final Kaf is the length of this ending, and it is a little longer. You don't want to get those two confused. So that's why some people instruct you, go ahead and do the little curl on top of the final Kaf. But make sure that tail's longer than in a Dalet. And that is Kaf. And it is transliterated K with a bar under the K for Kaf. Okay. Now, Lamed. Now this is one of my favorite letters, because this one means the teacher, and it is the coolest looking Hebrew letter, in my opinion. Lamed is you go like this, over, and across and down. It's kind of cool, isn't it? You can do this one shorter and this part longer, and then down like that. It doesn't matter. Or you can go straight across and then curve it. Don't do this if you can help it. You want to try to emphasize that curving coming down like that. But that's Lamed. I've gotten to where I'm in a habit with writing where I curl this like so, and then down. I've seen some really interesting looking lameds, the way some of the scribes, the ancient scribes, have written this letter. Lamed is L, of course, because it's Lamed. It is L. Not L as in lake. Lady as in love, as in lovely, as in the loveliness. Yes, this is Lamed. I'm not writing those too small, am I? Yeah, I think you can see them. I will rewrite them in column form larger when we review. The next one is very simple to do. You come across, you're at the bottom, and then you come across the top like this, and then there's a little mark like that. Very simple to draw. Just a bottom across, bring it up, look like a beehive with one mark out. This is called mem. Mem as in monkey, mama, maybe, Mabel, Magoo, so on and so forth. That is mem. Oh, I'm wanted on the phone. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. You didn't miss me, did you? I didn't think so. Very important home teaching call. Yeah, I got to go home teaching tomorrow night, so I got to hurry up and do this Hebrew with you. Okay, this is mem, which is M. Now, the next one after M is N. You'll notice this order isn't exactly the same as English. Don't let it bother you. Noon has a little doodah there. It comes down and then it goes over. Now, if you start getting sloppy with this in your writing, that's why it's important to be careful. This can start almost looking like a dalet, or a bait, if you're not careful. So what I do is I keep this top part short, and I do slant it somewhat instead of like this and across, because that can start getting you in trouble with bait if that extends. Or if you shorten bait, it starts looking like a noon. So you have to draw bait as bait and noon as noon. See that? That makes sense to you? It's somewhat tricky, but we want to make sure we draw it right so that we don't confuse ourselves. In the manuscript, sometimes because the papyrus flakes or the ink smears, or they're just hastily writing things down, sometimes it gets tough. In printing, it's wonderful to read, but sometimes by hand it gets tough. So that's noon. Noon is the second letter that has a final form. It's the same principle with noon. The top part of the letter remains the same, and you just simply bring the tail down. It comes straight down. So we have, now did I draw that final? Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, He, Vav, Zayin, Het, Tet, Yod, Kaf. No, I didn't. I forgot to put the final Kaf. I'm sorry. So here's the final Kaf. And here's the final Noon. There's the final Noon. I'm exaggerating its length somewhat, but not. Sometimes it will go down below the line. You gotta keep that distinguished. So there's Noon and final Noon. That's the second letter that has a final form. Oh no, I lied. That's the third letter. I'm skipping all kinds of stuff. Ay, ay, ay. Complete rookie here, I'm telling you. Mem is the second letter with a final form. Ha! I'll bet you real Hebraists are laughing like crazy, aren't you? This is medial M. This is what they call medial M, medial mem. The final form of mem is the only one that doesn't have the long tail. It's simply a box. However, it's a box with a little bit of a lip there going out. This is final mem. So you have mem, final mem. And that is important to put in. We must know the final letter. So, then we get to noon, which is N, and then final noon is straight down. Boy, I'm messing you up like crazy.